Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel Hard Mod Systems. I'm George and I'm super excited to be introducing the next project that I'm going to be building on this channel. I was on a local buy and sell site looking for some other things, and I just took a break and was peeking at the PC components, and I stumbled upon a case that I had wanted to build in 20 years ago. At that time it was too hard to get and far too expensive, and it never happened. But I was able to make an old dream become reality. I contacted him, met him at a local grocery store parking lot, and purchased the case. Is it as good a shape as I had hoped? No. Is it missing some of the pieces that I really was hoping was there? Yes. But overall, the case is complete enough and in good enough condition. I believe I can bring it back to life and do a build in it with parts that are more current. So this is going to be a Restomod. The case that I'm working with is a Cooler Master CM Stacker STC T01 black and silver. I know that's all gibberish, doesn't make much sense, but I'll give you a look at her as she sits right now. As you can tell, it's missing some of the plastic bezels that cover the front. It's got some awkwardly placed fans that stick out too far. It's got gaps in areas that I'm gonna have to come up with trim pieces, but it's definitely got the good basic condition to do the build in. So I'm super excited. I'll let you have a peek at what the case looked like brand new back in the day when Newegg sold it. She's mostly aluminum. She's in really good size. As you can tell, it holds 7 5¼ drive bays, which is insane. I don't know why they say 7 on the website, because I know you could easily get 9 5¼ devices into this machine. But irregardless, it's got all kinds of front I/O right off the bat. It's got USB 2.0, it's got IEEE 1394, it's got audio, mic in, headset out, power reset. She's got everything you'd want, but she's gonna get more, because one of the great things about 20 years ago is we had all kinds of extra things that you could jam into an empty 5¼ bay. Today we can still get card readers, we can get fan controllers, you can even just get a simple little plastic drawer that sits inside of it. It's kind of funny. Some of the stuff's really inexpensive and it probably doesn't work really very good, but it's going to add to the overall look of the Restomod. I'm going to go all out with it and dress her up as much as possible. Plus, the case didn't come with any of the bezels, which isn't a big thing because it's going to have 3 fans on it still. So really I only have to fill 2 empty slots. So it's not a big deal. The case is just awesome. Look at that. All those USB 2.0 ports. Yeah, who needs a hub with that? The audio, the 1394, yeah. Something I'm actively seeking right now is a big ass fan. It currently has 80mm fan attached to that great big grill on the side panel. Yeah, looks really funny. So I'm going to be looking for at least 200, maybe if I can find them, they're very rare nowadays, a 300mm fan would be perfect. If I can find a really thin automotive fan, I might consider that. Something that runs at a very low RPM would be all right. Is it needed? No, but I want it just for the looks. Believe it or not, it has a removable motherboard tray, but it takes 15 screws to get it out, and it's clunky. So yeah, I think we'll be doing the build in the case. This case came with dual power supply mounting points. The bottom one though has the knockouts removed and two 80 millimeter fans installed. So I think we'll just go with the fans again. I don't really need dual power supplies in this system. The big old side end. And she's a lot of aluminum. She's definitely a lot of aluminum. On the back you can see it's got grills. Originally this case came with a mountable fan that went along that whole thing. It was like a roller fan, something that you would find similar to a pellet stove. And the idea was it would pull air in from the back and then blow it across the entire length of the motherboard. But sadly that fan was missing. I would have liked to have gotten it with it. But so what we're going to be using is maybe some different items that we normally wouldn't use. Case in point, we're going to be going with the, we'll give you a better look. We're going to be going with the Asus AMD B550 Pro. This is more of a business slash industrial kind of board. It's missing things that you would normally see today, like VRM heat sinks. It's got the old style green PCB, which is something that was important to give it the look that I wanted it to have. Otherwise, it's a pretty capable motherboard. So I'm excited to work with something that I've never used before. Along with the whole idea of a Restomod, we're going to be going with two 16 gigabyte kits of DDR3200. These things were reasonably priced. They don't come with any heat sinks, so airflow over the motherboard is going to be really important to keep them cool. But we're going to fill every DIMM slot on the motherboard just to make it look beefier, and I really want that green PCB to stand out. Being modern motherboard, it can handle the M.2, so we got a basic boot drive for it. You know, we're going to go with the Western Digital Black SN770 NVMe, just a 250 gig, so it's got a snappy OS drive. And I haven't decided which processor I'm going to be going with yet. Because it doesn't have the heat sinks, I don't really know what it's going to get used for. And I'm a little leery to throw a really powerful processor onto this board. So I'm leaning towards a 5600. I might even go older with some of the processors that I have, depending on what I can find in the old parts bin behind me here. But once I know, I'll let you guys know. The pièce de résistance of this build is going to be the graphics card. And I'm really excited to have found this, and it's something I probably never would have bought if it wasn't for the look that I'm going for with this project. And yeah, we're actually going to go with A, it's an Acer. B, it's got an Intel GPU slapped on the PCB. So it's an Intel Arc A770 OC. What's the OC mean? I really don't know. I haven't checked the specs to see if it's got anything more than the reference card that Intel produced. But the main reason I went with this is because it's got a bold plastic bezel like they used to have back in the day. It's got one blower fan right over the GPU. It's got an additional standard fan that's blowing over the heatsink at the back. It's RGB, which we didn't have a lot of back then, and if you did, it was one static color. We might give it a static color, but I don't know. It's going to come down to what looks best. I've already picked up the fans. I'm running with the Arctic fans on this project. The Arctic has an affordable pack, 5 packs, 3 packs. Plus, it was really wild. Just as I started looking for parts for this build, my local retailer, Memory Express, who didn't have any 80 millimeter fans when I was looking for them for the recording PC, got a few in, and they were Arctic. They actually matched the case fans that I was looking at getting. The case fans are a little bit thinner And we picked up a 3-pack of those because I need 3 for the front. So hopefully they don't protrude as much from the case. You'll get a better look at those when I start doing that part. And then I picked up a 5-pack of the standard thickness 120 mil fans. And just to put the icing on the cake, I stayed with an Arctic CPU cooler. It's just the aluminum block with the copper heat pipes exposed. It's got a 120 millimeter fan on it. I figured if I'm going to go with Arctic for everything else, I might as well just go with an Arctic cooler, which I've had good luck with in the past. So I'm not worried about it. We'll leave it at that. Please stay tuned. Give us a subscribe. Give us a like if you like it. Give us a dislike if you don't. I encourage you so much to leave comments to help me grow as a content creator and provide the content that you really want to watch. So with that being said, we'll see you in the next video.